Hello guys, welcome back to my live stream today. My name is Nas Dennis. If this is your first time of coming across my channel, this is called Amazon Health Talks. That is dedicated to you. So here we give health talks on different topics to enlighten our people about their health so that you be control of your health. So welcome guys. Today I'm going to talk about obesity. You know, this is one of the things that most of our people struggle about. But don't struggle anymore because I'm here to help you with much needed information. I'll take you through what causes obesity, the risk factors. For example, if you have obesity, what dangers does that put you into? So join me. I'm in Nairobi, Kenya. Tell me from wherever you're watching me, you're joining me from, so that I can recognize you. And I'm very appreciative for your support. Kindly, if you will not subscribe to my channel, feel free to do so. Give me a thumbs up and let's connect and know each other better. So you can interact with me in the comment section. If you have any question, feel free to ask. So let's learn first what obesity means. You might be there does not know what obesity means. So simply, in simple terms, obesity means excessive or abnormal accumulation of fats in your body. Excessive or abnormal accumulation of fats in your body. So that's what simply what obesity means. So I have my laptop here, so that's why I'm checking on this side to ensure that we are together. Before that, let's get to understand some facts. By around 2016, that was a study by a report according to the Global Burden Disease. Over 4 million people are dying yearly because of obesity. Over 4 million people die because of obesity. So that is a very high number. And the good news is that obesity is preventable. So all that is, if you are worried because you are overweight or you are obese, it is preventable. And you can also try to reduce the burden of obesity. It's not easy to be obese because you struggle a lot. You even struggle to wake up, you struggle to do your chores. You feel tired because of a lot of physiological effects obesity does in our body. So if you are joining me, kindly give me a thumbs up, like my video, and share me out. So we need to understand that obesity has several long-term medical consequences. So let's start by understanding that if you are obese, that one makes you to have some long-term consequences that you are likely to face. One of them is hypertension. Hypertension is one of the medical consequences you are likely to have if you are obese. Remember, obesity is a risk factor to so many conditions. Another one is diabetes, specifically diabetes type 2. That is non-insulin dependent diabetes type 2. So that one is also a medical consequence that you are likely to face if you are obese. Another one is coronary heart diseases or heart disease. Obesity will put you into risk of having cardiovascular problem. One of them is coronary heart disease. And also some cancers. For example, the colon cancer, breast cancer, endometrial cancer for women. Also, obesity can be in children and also adults. We have child obesity. So children who are obese, they're likely to start their puberty at early stage than the one who are normal. So we have early onset of puberty. Another one is also overall shortening of lifespan. Obesity will reduce your lifespan because of these medical conditions. Remember, studies have shown that people who are obese, they tend to die early than the ones who are not. So it puts you to so many risks that are likely to catch up and interfere with your normal health. So today I'll talk about obesity in general. We will want to know what causes this obesity, how can we manage obesity, and also welcome in the house, Hustler's Kitchen. Welcome so much. Tell me where you're watching me from. Tell me where you're watching me from. Yes, tell me where you're watching me from. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm in Kiambu County, just bordering Nairobi. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate. Yeah, so Asla's Kenya has also a YouTube channel. Where you I saw that you do a lot of cooking. yeah, from in the kitchen, a lot of cooking. So anybody who's interested, you can always vlog there and support the work you're doing. So I appreciate the work you're doing. I will always be there to support you. Another medical consequence that obesity can put you is osteoarthritis. Remember, when you're obese, you exert a lot of weight to your joints. So that one will predispose you to having arthritis in the future, in the near future. That is the bearing joints, the weight bearing joints, that is the knees and other joints in your body. So the good thing is that this thing is manageable and also it is preventable. So I talked about this decreased lifespan of people with obesity. And also, how do we assess obesity? How can you know that you are obese? There is something known as BMI, body mass index. So we use that to assess obesity. How do you calculate your body mass index? So it's very simple. You take your body mass in kilograms. Body mass in kilograms. Let me write so that you understand. You take your body mass in kg, kilogram. Your body mass, I don't know whether it's visible, in kilogram, divide by your height, so you take your body mass in kilograms and divide by the square of your height. Body mass in kilograms, you can see here, divide by the square of your height. For example, if you are 65 kilograms, so you simply take 65 kilograms, and you assume you are around 170 centimeters. So 170 centimeters in meters, that is 1.7 meters. Then you square it. So you take, assume you are 65 kilograms and you are 1.7 meters. So you take 65 divided by 1.7 meters square. And the resultant number is your BMI. So I don't know the weight, your weight and your height. So you can always monitor, check your weight. If you take your weight, divide by the square of your height. And remember, height in meters. So 1.7 in my case, divide by 1.7 meters square. So we have the normal if you get that your BMI is between 20 and 25, that is the ideal BMI. That is the ideal BMI. Ideal to mean the normal BMI. If your BMI is, you find it is between 25 and 30, you are overweight. You are being overweight. It means you are moving towards the obesity side. But if you are over 30, if you find that your BMI is over 30, then you are obese. You are obese. And if your BMI is above 40, that is what is known as morbidly obese. You are morbidly obese. That if your BMI is above 40. So we have individuals who have BMI of above 40. And that is very serious. At that point, they cannot do their daily activities. So if you are in the house and you have any question, you can kindly ask in the comment section. I want to appreciate you, Hustler's Kitchen, for tuning in to support me. So let's connect all over the world. At least I know someone from Qatar. I've never had a friend from Qatar. I hear that it is a beautiful country, so we'll share and know more. Yeah, thank you. Remember, this BMI, it has also limitations because of some other factors. Yeah, it has. Thank you, Hustlers Kitchen. Thank you for being active in the. Yeah, thank you so much. So I was talking about the limitations. I've discussed how BMI is used to monitor your obesity or your weight, but it has also limitations. Remember, we have people like the athletes, the well-built athletes. They are not obese, but their BMI are high. So in that case, you cannot use that. Maybe you'll find that their BMI is above 25. In that case, you'll not say that they're obese. Yeah, so those are the limitations. Or maybe also in children. Children, you'll find that their BMI are small, and just because of the virtue of being small. Thank you, everyone in the house. Welcome. I appreciate you for taking your time to join me live. I'm Nurse Dennis. I'm a nurse by profession. Today I'm talking about obesity, and people are struggling with obesity. I'm here to give you information. If you have any question, kindly you can ask me in the comment section. I appreciate you for taking your time. The one I've just seen here is the Hustler's Kitchen, who has been with me since, and keep on with the support. I will also support you. Yes, I was thinking about the limitations. Remember, the highly trained athlete might have elevated BMI because of they have increased muscle mass than being obese per se. And also, the small individuals I've talked about, children, they have lower reference range of BMI just because of the virtue of being small. And BMI is not the only way of monitoring obesity. Nowadays, we have different types of obesity, and that one prompts other things like fat distribution, where you monitor your weight using fat distribution. Remember, we have some types of obesity. One of them is central obesity or visceral obesity, central visceral, or you can say abdominal obesity. Abdominal obesity is where you have fat concentration in your abdomen. You've seen people, for example, if you see there my thumbnail, there's some put there a picture of someone with central or visceral obesity, fat distribution around the abdominal region. We also have peripheral obesity. These are fats deposited around the hips and thighs. Remember, that is also obesity. There are some people with huge hips and also thighs. So it means that the fats are highly concentrated around that region. So we have central obesity and peripheral obesity. We will also learn the difference between these two in terms of health risk. One is more dangerous than the other. So fat distribution is also important, same as BMI, that is body mass index. I've talked about visceral or abdominal obesity. It has more serious health implications than the peripheral obesity. So if you have a lot of fats around your abdominal region in your belly, we call it belly fats. See, if you have a lot of belly fats, that one has more health implications than if you have fats around your hips and your thighs. So abdominal obesity has more health implications compared to peripheral obesity, and I'll explain that in a short while. So if you have abdominal obesity, it predisposes you to type 2 diabetes, to be specific. Type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is the common diabetes in adults. It is non-insulin dependent diabetes. Remember, we have two types of diabetes. We have type 1 diabetes, which is insulin dependent diabetes, and type 2 is non-insulin. Insulin dependent diabetes, you find that where insulin is produced from the pancreas, so the pancreas, those cells in the pancreas have been destroyed, so that your body does not produce now insulin to control sugar level. But in type 2, it is non-insulin. It does not. Yes, in type 2, it is non-insulin dependent. So it does not matter how much insulin do you have in your body. But the cells in the liver, that liver cells, are not responsive to the signals from insulin. So this, yes, I'll answer you. There's a question from Hustlers. Yes, I'll come back to that. So let me explain this one first. That why the type 2 insulin, type 2 non-insulin dependent diabetes. So I've said that type 2, the cells of the liver cells are not responsive to insulin. So if you have fats around your abdomen, it predisposes you to that type 2 diabetes, unlike when you have peripheral obesity. So Asla's kitchen, you are asking how comes after CS section, the abdominal fat never goes away. All other parts will go back to normal, but abdominal fat stays. Why? Yes, for example, other parts, for example, the birth canal, the birth canal will contract and be normal, contracts to the normal size. Remember, when you undergo CS does not, unless those fats in the abdomen, unless they are removed, some of them are removed. Remember, one of the ways of treatment of obesity is surgery. So if you can undergo surgery and repair, for example, those belly fats, they can be reduced through surgery. So in CS section is just you cut through the abdomen and access the uterus. The uterus is just the baby is removed from the uterus through the abdomen. Remember, the uterus just below just above the pubic region, around that belly. Remember, when you are pregnant, the uterus enlarges towards the abdomen, towards the stomach. Yes, it enlarges because the size of the babies is growing. But if you go through CS section, nothing is done. Only a cut is made, and uterus, a cut is made to the uterus, and the baby is removed. So the doctor will simply do the stitching of the abdomen and of the uterus. Nothing is removed. So it means everything there, the belly fats are intact, and therefore nothing will change unless you do other things like you exercise to reduce the belly fat. But CS section does not remove the belly fats. Just cutting through the abdomen does not remove, unless you agree with the doctor to remove them if you have fats, a lot of fats around the abdomen or the belly region. But just cutting through into the uterus does not affect the distribution of the fats. Yeah, so I hope you understand what I'm saying, Hustler's Kitchen. I'm saying just cutting through the abdomen into the uterus does not remove belly fats unless they are literally removed by the doctor. But that one you have to agree before you go for the CS section, because during that procedure, it's only the procedure of CS you gave your consent to. So assume you wake up and find that your belly fats have been removed and you did not consent. Remember, you can sue the physician. So they only do what you signed or what you agreed before you went through the process. So if you agree that they are going to remove the fats and also the baby, then they will do so. If you don't agree, only the baby will be removed through the CS section. So I agree with you. The fats will not go away after CS, despite the wound will heal nicely. Remember, the wound normally heals not after a long time, and even if you give birth through the natural method, the birth canal will go back to normal size. So thank you for that question. I hope you understand. If you still have a problem, kindly ask more in the comment section so that I see how to explain. But thank you so much for that question. So I was talking about that belly fat, that abdominal fat you have also asked. So that abdominal fat puts you into more risk. It puts you into risk of getting diabetes, specifically type 2. You are saying that, but those who push don't have abdominal fat. Those who push have abdominal fat. Your question was saying, you're saying how comes after CS section the abdominal fat never goes away? It means you had abdominal fat even if before going to CS section. You had abdominal fat before going to CS section, and it does not go away after CS section. That was your question. So if you had abdominal fats and give birth naturally, it will still not go away. Remember, belly fats, they don't just go away by the virtue of giving birth. Even if you are pregnant and you are obese, you have belly fats, you can you can confirm from those who have fats in their belly and have given birth naturally. That belly fat cannot just go away by that virtue of giving birth. I've seen so many people with abdominal obesity. After giving birth naturally, they will still have that abdominal obesity. Yeah, thank you for that. I will do more research as well as kitchen. I'll do more research in case there are those. I'll do more research on your concern. If because we work on proven things, so that is my opinion. But in case there's a different expert opinion, I'll also address that. So kindly bear with me as for now, but I'll do more research on that. So I was explaining why if you have fats in your belly, having fats in your belly puts you more into risk of getting type 2 diabetes. So this is the reason why there is some enzymes in that belly fat. The enzyme, let me get the name of the enzyme. So there is evidence that the visceral adipose tissue, that adipose tissue, the visceral is the abdominal area. The visceral adipose tissue has expresses an enzyme that is able to convert inactive cortisol to active cortisol. So cortisol is an hormone, metabolite hormone. So there's an enzyme in the visceral adipose tissue that converts this inactive cortisol to active cortisol, which is a metabolite enzyme, which is a metabolite hormone. So this hormone, remember, Visceral fat normally drains into the portal circulation. Portal circulation, this is circulation from the visceral region to the liver. So this fat, they normally deposit into the portal circulation. Therefore, you find that this portal circulation drains to the liver. So you find that liver of such individuals, they are exposed to high levels of cortisol hormone. So this cortisol hormone, it antagonizes the effect of insulin hormone. Insulin hormone simply regulates the amount of glucose in your blood. So this cortisol hormone, it antagonizes. It means it counteracts the effect of cortisol hormone. It makes the liver cells to be insensitive or not to be insensitive to insulin. Yeah. So when your liver cells are insensitive to insulin, it means that your blood glucose level will go up, and there's a process known as gluconeogenesis. So the process of blood, those other things being converted, being converted to glucose. That is the process of gluconeogenesis. So that is why if you have belly fats, you are more exposed or you're more at risk of getting type 2 diabetes, because that inactive cortisol, if it is activated to cortisol will counteract or make liver cells be inactive to cortisol to insulin hormone, and therefore your blood glucose will continue to rise and end up having diabetes type 2. So what causes obesity? After understanding the fat distribution and also body mass index and the health implications of having obesity, what causes obesity? Yes, some people are not just born obese, but it's something that can be influenced by different factors. So for those who are joining me, kindly don't leave, stay tuned. If you have any queries, you can ask me in the comment section. So I'm talking about causes of obesity. Essentially, obesity results from calorie intake in excess, so if calorie intake is in excess of calorie expenditure. So if you are taking too much calorie, but the expenditure is less, it means your body will retain too much calories. Those calories are converted into fats. So those fats are deposited in various body parts. One of them is hips, thighs, and even the abdomen. So that is essentially how obesity comes about. But now, what can cause this to happen? We've talked about energy expenditure. Remember, some people are, we call them energy squanders. They use a lot of energy and they tend to be lean. So these lean people, they use a lot of energy and therefore they don't have a lot of fats in their body. Remember, excess energy are converted into fats, and then these fats are deposited in different parts of the body. But if you are squanders, if you are using a lot of energy, it means you'll be lean. You will not be having a lot of fats in your body. Yeah, so for these people, if your energy expenditure is less, then you will tend to have more fat stores in your body. Another one is lower birth weight or low birth weight. So adults who are born with low birth weight tend to be obese in future. I know that is a surprise. If you are born with low birth weight is a risk factor to obesity. So these adults, they preferably store ingested calories rather than burning the calories. They store calories rather than burning calories. Those who are low birth weight. Remember, in the intrauterine is like they were prepared when they were still in the uterus. So it is as if this if intrauterine nutrition has program, it is as if intrauterine life has programmed them to expect poor uterine life, to expect poor post-uterine life, and make appropriate metabolic adjustment to conserve energy stores. So these people, the intrauterine life has prepared them post, so that with them they tend to conserve energy rather than spending more energy, and therefore they are more likely to be obese than those who are born with normal body weight. Normal birth weight is above 2.5 kilogram. So low birth weight is below 2.5 kilogram of weight. Another point of that under causes of obesity, one of them is genetics. Remember, genetics, these are factors that can run through your genealogy, through your, can be hereditary, because we have some hormones that play a key role in maintaining body weight and also spending of energy. One of them is leptin hormones. So these hormones, they can be defect. They can be genetic defect in leptin hormone and also in leptin receptors. Another point is emotional. For example, eating releases mood elevating hormones or neurotransmitters like serotonin. So with them, this mood elevating hormones counters depression. So remember, some people, if they are stressed, they eat a lot of food and they tend to gain weight. So this eating makes them release the mood elevating neurotransmitters, and they tend to gain a lot of weight and can end up being obese. Another point is society. Normally, in our society, for example, even in my society, fat people or fatness is associated with good health. For example, in society with the high prevalence of AIDS, obesity is synonymous with good health. People who have big bellies, we see them to be very healthy and they have a lot of money. So people embrace that body weight or being fat, and they take it to be, or they equate it to having good health and having a lot of money. They don't know that having that being overweight or being obesity is actually is detrimental to their health. So I was thinking about what causes obesity. I've talked about 5 factors. One of them is energy expenditure. Another one is genetics, emotional. Also, the society plays a role. And lastly, I've talked about low birth weight as a risk factor to obesity or can cause obesity in future. So we have appetite, control of appetite. So always in control of your appetite, it starts from it's in the brain, your brain stem. Appetite center is located in your hypothalamus, where various inputs are integrated to regulate food intake. So this is where we have brain-derived or brain-derived signals and body-derived signals. Body-derived signals, one of them is the leptin I was talking about, this hormone. Yeah, it is produced from the adipose tissue, body. And also we have brain-derived signals. One of them is neuropeptide Y. We also have melanocyte stimulating hormone, and among others. That is brain-derived signals. They control or regulate amount of food you eat. We also have some endocrine factors that can influence obesity. Endocrine is simply dealing with hormones that can influence obesity. For example, testosterone hormones. Testosterone hormone is a male hormone. So these testosterone hormones, they potentiate the ability of growth hormones during growth. Remember, growth hormones are normally effective during growth. So they potentiate the ability of growth hormones to enhance muscle mass and decrease fat deposition. You are asking, I also wonder why a man would have a big stomach for a pregnant, like for a pregnant woman. Why would a man have a protruding stomach? Yes. Yes, it is not by their choice. I've explained that one of the causes of obesity is emotional. Remember, when you are a man, you are emotionally stable, you are eating well, maybe you have money in your pocket, you have a wife to take care of you, you'll be relaxed. So it's emotional because that question is very interesting. So you are wondering why a man can have a protruding stomach. That is just deposition of fats. That is what I'm talking about, obesity. Remember, I've talked about central obesity. Central obesity is that obesity around the abdominal region. So that is fats. Basically, a lot of fats deposited in the abdomen, protruding and confusing you to be very big. So people think that they are healthy and they have money, but actually, that is it's not a good sign of health. Remember, central obesity will predispose you to high blood pressure, that is hypertension, which is a silent killer, and also diabetes. These are the leading causes of death currently in the world. So these men, actually, that one can affect their health in one way or the other. So it is not by their liking that they have big stomach, but it's something that just comes naturally. Remember, if you have sedentary lifestyle, just drinking a lot of alcohol, eating a lot of junky foods, those fats are deposited in your belly region or abdominal region, among other areas that I've mentioned above. Yeah, so that's a nice concern. So don't be happy if your man has a big stomach. Big stomach is not a sign of good health. If you have big stomach, you will have heart problems, have diabetes, have hypertension. So those conditions I've just mentioned above is equal to like having a death sentence. So it's not a good sign to be having a good or a big stomach. Yeah, thank you, Aslas. Yeah, and then I was talking about endocrine factors that can influence obesity. So these endocrine factors, I was talking about the testosterone hormones. Testosterone hormone is a male hormone, so it has ability of to potentiate growth hormone, to enhance muscle or to enhance muscle mass and decrease deposition of fats. So for example, teenagers, we have male teenagers and female teenagers. So male teenagers will have high muscle mass ratio to fats compared to females. So to female teenagers, they will have a lot of fats and less muscle mass. While male teenagers, they will have a high muscle mass, than less fats. Another one is also cortisol hormone. Cortisol hormone is a metabolite hormone. It's a very powerful appetite stimulant. So this hormone, remember, it can cause fat deposition in your visceral region than in the peripheral region. So cortisol hormone is it will, apart from causing deposition of fats in your abdomen, it will also cause your blood glucose level to rise. Yeah, thank you, Asla's Kitchen. Thank you for your support and for being with me. We'll meet again next time. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice evening. Yeah, so I was talking about endocrine factors. That is cortisol hormone. It will cause deposition of fats and also cause increase in blood sugar level, and therefore you are likely to have diabetes, and specifically diabetes type 2. Yeah, thank you, Hustlers. Have a good evening and may God bless you. May God also keep you in Qatar. Yes. Yeah, for those who are coming in, I'm talking about obesity and how to manage obesity, what causes obesity, simply because it is one of the most concerned. Currently, statistically, death causes by obesity have risen to about more than 4 million people dying each year. So that is high number. Even children have obesity. Yeah, so around over 340 million children and adolescents between the age of 5 and 19 are obese. Yeah, I've seen many children who are obese, so many. So therefore, it is not something that is only in adults or also in children. Yes. So how do we control or how do we treat obesity? Treatment of obesity. One, diet. What do you eat? How much do you eat? And when do you eat? Some people eat a lot of junky and fatty foods. They eat so frequently. They eat a lot of food. So remember, such people, they have a lot of fats deposits in their body. So what do you eat? How, when, and how much do you eat? Also, we have exercise. So exercise, it's also another way of controlling obesity. So, for example, children, you are advised, allow your children to at least play for 60 minutes a day. 60 minutes a day, children. But for adults, it is 150 minutes in a week. So you spread 150 minutes the whole week. So maybe 30 minutes per day. So exercise. Exercise is a free medicine to almost all medical conditions. So exercise for both children and for adults. Children to exercise for 60 minutes per day, while adults for 150 minutes in a week. If you can spread it maybe to 30 minutes per day, that one will be a bit okay. Yeah, another one is also, we also have drugs. So drugs that are normally given to these people. We have serotonin agonists. Some of them is other type of drugs under class of serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So these drugs are given also to lessen the effects of obesity. Apart from that, we also have surgery. Surgery done, one of them is GIT, in the GIT system surgery, where you bypass, you reduce the size of the jejunum. When you reduce the size of the jejunum, it means that you reduce the area of absorption of food. So you reduce the amount of food being absorbed. So there are so many surgeries that are normally available in the market today to reduce the effect of obesity. Remember, we have some individuals, those who are morbidly obese, they cannot wake up, they can't do anything on their own. They are carried, they're literally carried. So such people, you can't tell them to exercise because they cannot even lift their arms, they cannot even lift their neck or even their legs. So such people, they are candidates for surgery. For those who are able to walk, they can run, you can do a lot of exercise. It's very easy to deal with that at that point because you have not reached that being morbidly obese. So at that point, you can still reduce, you can still control your diet, you can still exercise. Yes, and you can see improvements. If you are persistent, then I believe you can achieve a good result. Uh, which types of food should you avoid? You should avoid consumption of these fatty foods, these canned foods. Uh, uh, which kind of other foods? Reduce amount of sugar you take as well. Remember these sugars there, sugars, fatty foods, these junky foods in wholesome junk foods. Avoid such foods, or if you can't avoid, reduce. But I'll encourage you to avoid them because diet is a very key role, plays a very key role in management of your weight. Diet, exercise, and other things play a very key role. So if you still eat a lot of fatty foods and junky foods, you will be doing zero work because you will be adding a lot of fats to be in your body. Remember, you have excess fat stores, and then again you are adding a lot of fats by eating them. It means you are doing a zero work. So instead, you can increase the consumption of fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, among others that are very healthy. Yes. And also, for example, in children, remember I've talked about obesity in children. There's also children with obesity. So studies have shown that exclusive breastfeeding in infants before 6 months, have shown to reduce obesity in children. So for mothers, for the young mothers, before you start weaning your child, do exclusive breastfeeding from day 1 to 6 months. That one will, apart from preventing the risk of the child developing obesity, the child will also have strong immune system. Breast milk has a lot of benefits to the child. Remember, the child's immune system is very weak, among other factors that the child benefits from in the milk. So as I've said, that this exclusive breastfeeding will help the baby or the child not to develop obesity in the coming days or years. So I'm encouraging our mothers to give them children breast milk exclusively for the first 6 months. Remember, after 6 months, you start introducing some other solid foods, soft solid foods, time by time, because now the baby is growing. The energy demands is also growing. Therefore, at that point, you introduce other foods. I was talking about exercise. Exercise has a lot of importance. So if you are obese and you exercise, one of the good effects of exercise is that it will allow your muscles to uptake glucose from your system. So that one will help you to reduce blood glucose in your body. For even those who have obesity, remember, exercise subject your muscles, because your muscles will need energy, and the energy is gotten from glucose. So when you do exercise, it means your energy will, the muscles, we have glucose transporters. So they will transport more glucose into the muscles. By that, the overall effect is that your glucose level will be reducing from your blood system. And that one will reduce even the effect of having diabetes. Even if you are diabetic, exercise can still help you a great deal. So plan to exercise regularly and thoroughly. Slow, you start by exercising a little bit as you increase the intensity of the exercise, and that one will help your muscles and your body and your health in general. Yeah, for those who are in the house, kindly give me a like and talk to me in the comment section. I want to appreciate you guys for being with me since I started this live stream, and you've been of great support, the hustlers. Thank you so much for your great support from Qatar, and I believe we will know each other. I will know my audience. I will know what you need. I will know what you want to hear through the comment section. So I want to say thank you as you take your time to join me in my live stream. Before I sign off, there is this hormone I wanted to talk about, the leptin hormone. Because it plays a key role in obesity or in management of body weight. So this is hormone in the adipose tissue. So this is hormone found in from your adipose tissue. Please, if you're in the house, don't leave. Yeah, don't leave. I appreciate you so much. Don't leave. Yeah. So this leptin hormone, it is released from the adipose tissue. It helps you to maintain your normal weight. So this hormone helps us to maintain our body weight. Yes. It does that by regulating hunger and by providing sensation of satiety or feeling of fullness. So this hormone helps us to regulate our body weight and also provide sensation of satiety. What makes you feel that you are full? It is a hormone known as leptin. So one of the causes of obesity, remember, genetics. If this hormone has defect, if there is defect in leptin hormone, it means that you will not feel that you are full. So you'll keep on eating because you don't have something that tells your brain that you are full. So you'll keep on eating despite you having enough fat stores, and that one will make a lot of fat to be deposited in your adipose tissue and make you be obese. So it acts on the brainstem to regulate hunger and energy expenditure. So this is a very important hormone in our body, the leptin hormone. It acts on the brainstem. Brainstem, that one is in the brain. So it will tell the brain that you are full, and also it will help in regulating the energy we expenditure in our body. So thank you for everyone who has joined. Kindly support me by giving me a thumbs up, and also don't leave before subscribing to my channel. Help me grow and reach 1,000 subscribers. So before this leptin hormone, the leptin hormone resistance. So if you can have leptin hormone resistance, I've said leptin hormone, it helps you manage your body weight, and also it helps you have the feeling of fullness. Yes. So you can have leptin hormone resistance. So your brain does not respond to leptin. In leptin hormone resistance, your brain will not respond to leptin hormone. So you don't get the sensation of feeling full and satisfied. This causes you to eat even more, though your body has enough fat store. So you see that one will be very now, it will affect you. You will be consuming more, and nothing tells your brain that you are enough or you are full. So I wanted us to understand that the leptin hormone. And also let me repeat about the body mass index. I talked about body mass index is the parameter through which we monitor our weight. So if you want to know your body mass index, go and check your weight, put that weight in kilogram, divide by your height in meters square. You square, for example, if you are 70 kilograms and your height is 1.8 meters. So you take 70 kilograms divided by 1.8 meters square. So it is the height, to get BMI, to know your BMI, you take your kilograms or your weight divided by height squared. If you find that your BMI is between 20 to 25, that is very normal, that is very okay. If you find that your BMI is between 25 to 30, you are being overweight. Start working on that as much as possible, as soon as possible, before you get to the obese side. If you are having obese BMI of 30 and above, you are obese. If your BMI has reached 40 and above, that is known as morbidly obese. So always check your BMI, check your body weight, ensure that you maintain your weight in a manageable, to be manageable, because if you have high or overweight or obese, it will predispose you to a lot of conditions that will in turn reduce your lifespan, will affect your good health. So in societies where being fat is taken as good, currently it's high time we understand that being overweight is actually not good. It is being unhealthy because you have too much unnecessary unhealthy fats in your body. So in my village where we know people who are fat to be healthy or to be having money, let's change our mentality on that. Yes. So I want to thank you guys for your support, for being with me, and also for participating in my live stream. I hope this message will reach so many people. And if you have any question, always feel free to ask me in the comment section. And I believe we'll still interact more in the coming days. Have a very wonderful evening, and may God be with you. May God keep you. Until next time.